Original post: my girlfriend demanded I apologize to her male best friend for hurting his feelings. I agreed. I went to his home and said in front of his wife, "I'm so sorry. I'm sorry I didn't tell my girlfriend about the affair you had last summer. I should have never kept that secret for you. So this happened about a week ago and my phone has been blowing up ever since. I, 29 male, have been dating my girlfriend, Lena, 28 female, for almost 2 years. Things have been mostly great, except for one thing: her best friend, a guy named Jason, opening parenthesis 30, male closing parenthesis dot. From day one, Jason and I didn't click. He was cold, passive-aggressive, and very obviously not thrilled that Lena was in a relationship. She swore they were just friends, like a brother. She said, but I always felt there was something off. Anyway, last summer we all went to a group vacation with mutual friends. One night I accidentally walked in on Jason very intimately, talking to a woman who was definitely not his wife. They didn't see me, but it was clear what was happening. I kept my mouth shut. Not my business, right? Fast forward to last week. Lena gets mad at me out of nowhere. Jason told her I disrespected him at a dinner party we attended. Apparently, I didn't laugh at one of his jokes and made a sarcastic comment later when he was talking about relationships. Lena tells me I owe him an apology. I asked why I should apologize for hurting the feelings of someone who cheated on his wife. She froze. She had no idea what I was talking about. I realized in that moment I'm done covering for this guy. I agreed to apologize. I texted Jason and said I wanted to do it in person. He seemed smug about it and invited me over that evening. When I got there, his wife Sarah answered the door. I asked her if she could join us in the living room, because I had something to say and it involved her too. Jason looked like he was going to be sick. I calmly said, "Jason, I want to apologize. I'm sorry I didn't tell my girlfriend about the affair you had last summer. I'm sorry I kept that secret for you. It was wrong of me to protect you and I regret it, Sarah. I'm also sorry you're hearing it like this. You deserve better." Jason lost it. Sarah was dead silent, then stood up, looked him in the eye, and said, "We'll talk later." Then she left the room. I walked out. Now Lena is furious with me for blowing up his marriage and embarrassing him. I told her I don't owe loyalty to a liar, and I'm done pretending this guy is innocent. Asterisk, she hasn't spoken to me since. Friends are divided. Some say I was petty. Others say Jason got what he deserved. So Reddit. Update 1 3 days later. Wow, I didn't expect this to blow up the way it did. But here's where things stand now. Jason's wife, Sarah, she packed a bag that night. Turns out she'd had suspicions for a while but didn't have solid proof. After I left, she checked his phone while he was in the shower. Yikes. And found everything: messages, photos, hotel bookings, all under a fake contact name. She confronted him and he tried to claim I was lying to break them up. She didn't buy it. She called 2 of our mutual friends, who confirmed they'd seen Jason getting too cozy with the same woman during that vacation. One even said, "I thought Sarah knew." So yeah, she's staying with her sister now, has contacted a lawyer, and is seriously considering divorce. As for Lena, she hasn't taken it well. She accused me of weaponizing information and humiliating her friend on purpose. I told her Jason was never her friend. He was a selfish cheater who manipulated everyone around him, including her. She didn't like that answer. To make it worse, one of Lena's friends, Claire, messaged me privately saying she always knew something was going on between Lena and Jason. She never had proof, but said they had weird emotional affair vibes and were constantly texting late at night, even while Lena was with me. I confronted Lena about it and she exploded. She said I was paranoid and controlling, and now she's gone full no contact to think about things. Not sure what to think right now. I feel like the mask is coming off a lot of people. Update to 1 week after update. 1. I wasn't planning to post again, but too much has happened to stay silent. Buckle up, because this story took turns I never thought it would. First off, let's talk about Sarah, Jason's now soon-to-be ex. After I dropped the truth bomb in their living room, she didn't just walk away quietly. Nope, she dug into Jason's phone records, credit card bills, and social media messages. And within 48 hours, she had an ironclad case of infidelity and deception. Turns out, the woman from the summer trip wasn't the only one. Jason had a whole second life. Hotel receipts, late-night meets, suspicious Venmo payments. She confronted him with a lawyer already on standby. The man looked like he aged 10 years overnight. I don't know all the details, but I do know this. She filed for divorce last Thursday, and based on what I've heard from Mutual, she's coming for everything. And honestly, good for her. Now on to the part I didn't expect. Lena moved in with Jason. Yes, you read that right. About 3 days after Sarah left him, Lena told me she needed space. The next thing I know, Claire, the one friend who actually has some loyalty left, texts me a photo of Lena and Jason grocery shopping together. No big group, no other friends, just them. Smiling, laughing, looking very cozy for 2 people supposedly mourning the loss of their friend group. I confronted Lena. She didn't deny it. She said Jason was going through a rough time and needed support from someone who understood him. When I asked if they were together, she said, "We're figuring things out." That was the final nail in the coffin for me. I reminded her calmly, even though I was boiling inside, that she'd spent our entire relationship defending this man, swearing he was just a friend. And now here she was, playing house with him days after we broke up. She said I was being toxic and controlling, and that I never trusted her trust. She's literally shacking up with the guy I always suspected had feelings for her and who she swore was like a brother. But wait, it gets even messier. Our mutual friend group has completely fractured. Some people, mostly Lena's old college friends, are calling me spiteful and accusing me of trying to destroy Jason's life out of jealousy. One even sent me a message saying, "He didn't cheat on you, bro. Mind your own, right?" Because exposing a serial cheater and liar is somehow worse than being one. On the flip side, several others reached out privately to say they were glad I said something. A few even admitted they had known about Jason's affairs but were too scared to speak up. One guy told me, "You did what the rest of us were too cowardly to do." That meant a lot. Claire's been the real MVP. She's cut ties with Lena completely, and she told me she always felt Lena had a weird emotional dependence on Jason. Apparently, they used to call each other late at night, sometimes even while Lena was staying over at my place. I thought it was just harmless venting at the time. Now I realize it was emotional cheating, plain and simple. Jason and Lena are apparently trying to paint themselves as victims now. I've seen vague Instagram stories, fake friends, you never really know someone, and all that cryptic garbage. Lena even unfollowed me on everything and changed her profile picture to a quote about rebirth through pain. Give me a break. As for me, I'm done with all of them. I blocked Jason, Lena, and everyone who defended them without even asking. For my side, if your loyalty can be swayed by a guy like Jason and a girl who gaslit me for 2 years, then we were never real friends to begin with. I've been focusing on rebuilding, therapy, gym, reconnecting with people I trust. Claire and I have grown closer as friends, and she's been an absolute rock through all of this. The last few weeks have been a crash course in betrayal, but weirdly, I feel lighter. Like I finally tore off a rotten bandage and can start healing. 2. Anyone reading this who feels crazy for trusting your gut, you're not crazy. If something feels off, it probably is. And staying silent to keep the peace only protects the people causing the harm. Jason's marriage is over. My relationship is over, but so is the manipulation, the gaslighting, and the fake friendships. And honestly, that's a trade I'll take any day. Final update: it's been 3 weeks since my last update, and what a ride it's been. I told myself that once I posted this, it would be the last time I ever gave any more of my energy to these people. The ex's best friend, and the so-called friends who turned out to be anything but. So here it is. The final chapter. Let's start with the thing most of you probably want to know. Jason and Lena, they're done. Imploded, crashed, and burned in record time. I didn't have a front row seat, thank God. But I've heard plenty through the grapevine. Apparently, Jason assumed Lena would be some kind of soft landing after Sarah left him someone to stroke his ego, validate his victim complex, and let him play the good guy who was betrayed by everyone else except Lena. She wanted a relationship, like a real one, public, committed. Jason didn't want that. You can probably guess what happened next. He started pulling away, not returning texts, getting busy with work. Sound familiar? Lena caught him messaging another woman barely 2 weeks into their situationship. She flipped full meltdown, according to a mutual former friend, screaming, crying, accusing him of ruining her life. Irony. Jason told her she was emotionally unstable and that he needed space, which is rich coming from a guy who's literally a walking red flag buffer. She moved out the next day, apparently staying with one of the friends who originally took her side. That didn't last long either. The friend got tired of the constant crying and drama and kicked her out after a week, so now they're both single, miserable, and no one wants them around. A few of the people who turned on me, they've come back around, quietly messaging me to say, "You were right, but honestly, I don't care anymore." That ship sailed, and Sarah, absolutely thriving. She's moved into a new place, got promoted at work, and just posted a photo of herself on vacation in Spain with the caption, "Best thing I ever did was leave." Iconic. I sent her a message to congratulate her, and she actually replied, "Thanked me again for being the spark that lit the match." She said she hopes I find someone who respects me the way Jason never respected anyone. She's also keeping the house. Apparently, Jason's attempt to fight it in court fell apart when her lawyer presented evidence of multiple affairs and misuse of shared funds. He'll be paying spousal support for years, play stupid games. As for Lena, after everything, she had the audacity to try to reach out to me. A few nights ago, I got a long message from her, like novella length. It was this bizarre mix of apology, self-pity, and low-key blame shifting. She said things like, "I never meant for any of this to happen, and I wish you could just trusted me more." Followed by, "Jason really messed with my head too." I didn't reply, because at this point, I see it all clearly. Lena wasn't just a victim of Jason's manipulation, she was an active participant. She covered for him, lied for him, gaslit me for him, and when the truth finally came out, she chose him over me. That wasn't a mistake. That was a choice, and now she's living with the consequences of that choice, just like he is. Where I'm at now, honestly, I feel better than I have in years. Like I finally walked out of a fog I didn't know I was in. I've started rebuilding my life, not just in the going to the gym and eating better sense, although I am doing that, but in the real sense, surrounding myself with people who respect me, reconnecting with hobbies I let slide, and learning how to be alone without feeling lonely. Claire and I are still close. She's been a great friend through this whole mess, and she even helped me move into a new place. We joked that we should start a podcast called That Was a Red Flag. Who knows? I don't regret anything. Not the confrontation, not the fallout, not the breakups. Because the truth is, none of these people were ever really with me to begin with. They were around me, but they weren't for me. Now I only want people in my life who are for me, who tell the truth, who show up, who mean what they say. If you're in a situation like mine where you feel like something's off but everyone keeps telling you to let it go, listen to that voice in your gut. It's trying to protect you. I didn't listen for too long, but once I did, everything became clear. I might have lost a relationship, I might have lost a group of friends, but I gained clarity, peace and freedom, and that's worth everything. Thanks for sticking with me through this roller coaster. I'm logging off now, not just from this post, but from this whole chapter. Be well, be wise, and don't apologize for burning bridges that were never safe to cross.